This is Murrow and Emmy Award-winning CBS 47 Eyewitness News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Esteban Reynoso. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. A deputy-involved shooting in the Mayfair district, a Fresno County island within the city of Fresno, has left one man dead, and police were called out this afternoon. CBS 47's Juanita Adame has the latest.
One man was shot and killed in a home here behind me. Investigators say it started with a violent brawl between several family members. The scene was chaotic.
Well, there's a lot of blood on scene. It's obviously that people were injured, but the exact nature of their wounds, they're both at CRMC being tended to.
A large fight, blood everywhere, and a man armed with a brick.
The suspect advanced on the deputies, refused commands to drop it, and eventually an OIS, an officer-involved shooting, occurred.
Police say the man was rushed to CRMC but died from his injuries.
We're not releasing his information at this time until family members can be contacted.
The call began with a disturbance involving multiple people.
I can tell you there's a lot of blood on scene. There's broken out windows. It's obvious that a large fight was taking place.
Investigators have not determined what started the fight, but did say two people, a man and a woman, were also injured during the fight.
There's blood on the side of the house. That's very apparent that there was injured people, that they had been either hit with items and or stabbed, and that they were in dire need of medical aid.
It appeared that everyone at the home knew each other. The man, however, did not live at the home.
The nature of the relationship between the suspect and the victims that live here is part of the investigation, but it's not believed to be a random act. There was some sort of relationship, but that's obviously part of what's being investigated.
Now, this is the third officer-involved shooting for the Fresno County Sheriff's Office. Reporting here in Fresno, Juanita Adame, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
And Fresno police are investigating a deadly shooting after a man was found dead in the parking lot entrance of the Hinton Community Center. Now, officials say it happened around 2:30 this morning, and they were called out to the area of South Fairview and Tower Avenue. ShotSpotter reported at least 7 rounds of shots fired in the area. When they got there, they found a Hispanic man in his 30s suffering from gunshot wounds. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. And just 15 minutes before that shooting, Fresno police rushed to the area of Tillman Avenue after a man was found with gunshot wounds lying in the front of a home. This shooting happened around 2 a.m. this morning on South Tillman, and witnesses tell police they heard multiple gunshots. When police got there, they found a Hispanic man in his 20s suffering from a gunshot wound to his upper body. Now, emergency crews, they performed life-saving efforts, but the victim ultimately died from those gunshot wounds. Hundreds of thousands of migrants have been transported to several places around the country, some without knowing they would be sent, and many places not aware of the situation. An acting gig turned humanitarian crisis. Now, Providence native Eric Robles has been on Martha's Vineyard for a month and a half. That's where several of these migrants have been placed as part of a cast of a Latino play. Now, yesterday, when around 50 Venezuelans were sent to the island unannounced, the cast was asked if they could serve as Spanish language translators. As for how the refugees arrived here and organized the flights, officials still say that's unclear.
It was incumbent upon me to come here to help my people. I'm Dominican and Puerto Rican, so I know what the immigrant story is like. I never experienced it, and it breaks my heart to even think of what these people are going through, nonetheless see it.
Volunteers are providing shelter, clothing, food, and even translative legal services. One refugee who asked to remain anonymous says he was offered a flight to Massachusetts but did not know he'd be sent to the vineyard. And Robles said some Venezuelans tell him they're glad to be here while others, they disagree. And it wasn't just on the East Coast, but close to here at home in Sacramento. Hundreds of even thousands of miles from home. Also people from Venezuela who were dropped off without warning. Now volunteers say they're trickling into the Sacramento International Airport, not knowing where to go. Autumn Gonzalez is a volunteer with NorCal Resist, a migrant support organization helping them find resources, work that they've done since 2016. But they've never seen anything like this.
Using people as political pawns to make a political point is wrong, and this is really an immoral thing for whoever's doing it to be doing.
U.S. border agents have made a record 1.8 million migrant arrests so far in the year of 2022, with many attempting to cross multiple times. Now, Texas has bused more than 7,000 migrants to Washington, D.C. and New York City since April, spending nearly $13 million on the initiative. Parents are frustrated and scared. They say drugs are a huge problem on a campus in the Southland, and they're preparing to take their concerns to school and district administrators during a special meeting set for next week. Rick Montanez has the details.
A small memorial sits on the steps at the Bernstein High School campus in Hollywood, where 2 students overdosed on fentanyl-laced pills earlier this week. 15-year-old Melanie Ramos died in a school restroom, and parents fear a tragedy like this could happen again.
Now they're seeing what can happen, not what may happen, what really can happen.
Migdalia Torres, the mom of a 10th grader, says she is preparing to take those concerns to the school and LAUSD next week at a special drug and safety meeting on campus.
And we're hoping that Thursday would just be the beginning, and we will not stop there. We will continue with the LAUSD till we finally find a solution.
Torres says since the tragic news about Ramos's death, she's been hearing from other parents about drug use at the school. The district said this week safety on campus is its top priority. But this mother says her son never felt safe here.
Sí estoy molesta porque este caso de drogas.
She's upset, especially after hearing about Ramos's death. She says she complained to the school that her son had been constantly pressured to buy drugs from other students. Meanwhile, we're learning of another possible student tragedy in La Puente. There are reports a 14-year-old Nogales High School student overdosed and died. The Roland Unified School District says it's providing support to the student's family, staff, and their classmates. Torres says she's encouraging other parents with similar stories to speak up ahead of or at next Thursday's meeting.
This will not bring this child back, but I'm hoping that it will prevent from some other child overdosing and actually passing away.
I'm CBS 47 meteorologist Justin Sacher. Rain is headed our way. We will see a storm system arrive here tomorrow. It's not going to be too powerful, but it's definitely going to mark a difference in the way things look and feel outside. Let's take a live look through our Valley Cam network. This is the Valley Cam up above our studios right here on East McKinley Avenue. And we do see the clear and calming conditions. Right now, winds are still close to 15 miles per hour in the area. And Fresno, below our average high of 91 this time of year, with a high of 88 this afternoon. Right now, temperatures are in the 60s with 68 in Visalia and in Fresno. And there's that storm system moving in, the first one of the season. I'll show you more on what we can expect coming up in your full pinpoint weather forecast.
Justin, thank you so much. Looking forward to that. And the Fresno State Bulldogs are battling it out with the USC Trojans right now. Now, USC is ranked number 7 in the country. Now, this is just a little bit of practice footage for right now, preparing you for later. The two teams are battling it out at the Coliseum in Los Angeles, and we will have a full breakdown of the game and some highlights later on in Sports Central, so stick around. Coming up on your weekend edition of Eyewitness News at 11, Oktoberfest is already here in the Central Valley. How you can join in on the events going on throughout the valley and what people had to say about the season's kickoff. And the Scottish Games make their return, the once-a-year tradition, and what it means to those who celebrate it. But first, here's a look at tonight's winning Powerball numbers: 5, 25, 36, 51, 61, and 1 for a jackpot of over $200 million. And here's tonight's winning Super Lotto Plus numbers. Go ahead and check your tickets, everybody, and good luck. Stay with us.
All around us, events unfolding. Start your day with breaking news from the break of dawn to prepare you for the day ahead with Anthony Bailey, Megan Ruth, here when you need them. Investigative journalism, up-to-date pinpoint weather, on air and online. The Valley's only AM team on Eyewitness News this morning. Weekdays from 5 to 7 on CBS 47.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
Politician David Valadao. He says he's fighting for Valley families, then puts himself first in Washington. Valadao voted against economic relief for us during COVID, but his family business collected thousands in government relief. With prices surging, Valadao opposed raising the minimum wage. Valadao even sided with drug makers, refusing to cap insulin prices. Congress is working great for David Valadao, but Valadao's not working for us. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Fellow Californians, I need to warn you about Proposition 30, one company's cynical scheme to grab a huge taxpayer-funded subsidy. Don't be fooled. Prop 30 is being advertised as a climate initiative, but in reality, it was devised by a single corporation to funnel state income taxes to benefit their company. Put simply, Prop 30 is a Trojan horse that puts corporate welfare above the fiscal welfare of our entire state. Vote no on Prop 30.
When you have connections, life is good. And life's really good for Sacramento politician Adam Gray. You paid his salary and benefits most of his adult life. Gray took lavish trips and gifts from special interests. Gray played the system. Even his scandal-ridden father-in-law got in on the gig. Registered as a state lobbyist once Gray got elected. Adam Gray, he's connected the Sacramento way. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
If you don't have a primary care doctor for your family, Premium Urgent Care provides all general health services at multiple Valley locations. Set your appointment online and Premium Urgent Care will serve you quickly for the health of those you love. Get quality care at Premium Urgent Care today.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us for Eyewitness News Investigates. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. The Fresno Scottish Gathering and Games was back today for its 45th year. The event celebrated Scottish heritage with traditional food and music. CBS 47's Natalie Vera has more.
Everybody's a Scot today. On Saturday, Kearney Park in Fresno transformed into a mini Scotland at the 45th annual Scottish Gathering and Games. Back in the mother country, people lived miles apart from each other, so they didn't have an opportunity to see everybody on a daily basis, weekly basis, so they had a gathering. So once a year, you gathered with your clans, your families. The Fresno Scottish Society says it's an opportunity for people to celebrate their heritage. You know, a lot of people are doing DNA testing these days, and they are finding out that they have a percentage of Celt or Scottish or Irish ancestor in them. So we get a lot of contacts from people that, hey, I just did my DNA. From traditional food and games, that's the big guys and the big women that throw what we call a Kgpe. Most people think it's a telephone pole.
We like the knives and swords and axes and all the costumes. It's quite a good quality meetup here.
A Celtic rock band, and of course, kilts, of course. Everybody has to have a kilt.
Out here to celebrate and share our culture with anybody willing to ask.
I'm enjoying my Scottish heritage. My third great-grandfather, Alexander McGillivray, fought with Charlie Stewart against the Duke of Cumberland.
In Fresno, Natalie Vera, CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
And also in the Valley today, the annual Out of the Darkness Walk took place today for suicide prevention, and plenty of organizations and people came out to support. The Out of the Darkness Walk took place at Woodward Park in partnership with the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention from the Central Valley chapter and Fresno County Behavioral Health. Now, dozens of people made the march holding flags and the memories of those they lost to suicide prevention. For one family, the reason they came out today is to keep the happy memory of their loved ones alive.
My sister and her husband and the children, we come out here to support my nephew, Pedro. This is our second year out here, trying to spread awareness for him and anybody else who's dealing with mental health, suicidal thoughts. He was a wrestler. He struggled with depression, something that, you know, he was a very happy kid. You wouldn't know that he had depression if he didn't talk about it, because he had so much joy and so much life in him. It was a surprise to everybody, but you know, we're out here showing that he's still going to live on.
Now, Packer says throughout September, they welcome people to Cedar and Ventura to walk with them in the mornings as they try to spread suicide awareness. This year's biggest Oktoberfest parties have already started in Fresno. Oktoberfest at Tioga Sequoia started up today with 6 special brews. Even the employees, they were dressed up for the season. Now, Oktoberfest is celebrated every autumn in Germany in late September and early October, and it usually involved drinking all types of beers, you would think, right?
We have 5 different.
And sorry about that, folks. We have a little bit of technical difficulties, but that's okay. There was German music at multiple stages and traditional German games. Now, the event started at 2 p.m. and wrapped up not too long ago at 11. Now, coming up on your weekend edition of Eyewitness News at 11, Hero Fest in Fresno is making everyone feel like a hero. We'll take you to the event and all the festivities.
And we're going to see some rain arrive late tomorrow, probably around this time tomorrow night. You ready? We've got the details coming up next in your Pinpoint Weather Forecast. First, your allergy forecast from the BAS Allergy, Asthma, and Sinus Center.
When adventure calls, Toyota answers with more hybrid choices than any other brand. With class-leading MPG that never needs plugging in, you can venture on and off the grid with confidence. Every Toyota hybrid vehicle comes with Toyota Care 2-year complimentary scheduled maintenance and our exclusive 10-year, 150,000-mile hybrid battery warranty for wherever adventure takes you. Toyota, let's go places.
When you have connections, life is good. And life's really good for Sacramento politician Adam Gray. You paid his salary and benefits most of his adult life. Gray took lavish trips and gifts from special interests. Gray played the system. Even his scandal-ridden father-in-law got in on the gig. Registered as a state lobbyist once Gray got elected. Adam Gray, he's connected the Sacramento way. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The choice between Prop 26 and 27? Let's get real. Prop 26 means no money to fix homelessness, no enforcement oversight, and no support for disadvantaged tribes. Yikes. Prop 27 generates hundreds of millions towards priorities like new housing units in all 58 counties. 27 supports non-gaming tribes. It includes strict audits that ensure funds go directly to getting people off the streets and into housing. There's only one choice. Yes on 27.
Clean, safe, and reliable water. For State Senator Melissa Hurtado, it's a basic right for every family and farm. So she's doing the hard work across party lines to improve our water infrastructure.
Senator Hurtado is teaming up with her colleagues from both sides of the aisle to fix the canal.
$130 million a year to make sure that water is accessible.
Clean, safe, and reliable water for families and farms. State Senator Melissa Hurtado. She's all Valley.
Are you a college graduate but don't know what career to choose? Become an attorney. Join our information session. Register today at info.sjcl.edu. San Joaquin College of Law. 1 degree, a world of options.
Pine for a Pass blood drive now through October 15th. Call 389-LIFE.
Now, your CBS 47 Pinpoint Weather Forecast.
So we've seen a bit of a breeze tonight. This is some fresh air, or will eventually be more fresh by the time we get some of that nice ocean air tomorrow. Through the day tomorrow, we'll see some big changes, including cooler temperatures, and Monday will be the coolest day of the week to come. Today, 88 degrees, still under our average for this time of year, which is 91. It was 63 early this morning. That's right on average for this time of year. But temperatures right now are in the 60s. It's 68 at Fresno. It's 64 right now in Madera, and 62 up in Los Banos. Your renewable solar forecast is tracking a drop in solar electricity generation. Well, it's thanks to all the cloud cover associated with the storm system that's arriving in California tomorrow. Already, Northern California is starting to see some of the bands of clouds associated with this presently quickly moving low pressure system. Now that it's here, it's going to slowly kind of almost stall out where it's at and eventually diminish in intensity over the next few days, all while spinning these bands of precipitation through California. Areas north of Fresno, beginning tomorrow, going to see rain. If you're in Fresno, you may or may not see it. I'm thinking you'll probably see a few drops in at least the sky cover, and temperatures and breezy conditions will be dramatically different. Still better chances in mountain areas like Yosemite and going up north through the valley through Fresno, but as you can see here on our pinpoint forecast, showers are definitely possible south of Fresno. And you notice that center of rotation hasn't moved very much. We've seen these spinning bands of precipitation, and that low is kind of fizzling out in its intensity, right? Kind of where it started or where it's going to park within about 24 hours. Now, as we take a look at the days ahead from Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, chances diminish for more precipitation, and we will enjoy some cleaner air. Right now, it's a mix between moderate and good air quality. You can see tomorrow, the San Joaquin Valley Air Pollution Control District forecasts moderate air quality once again, and temperatures tonight will be down to 60 degrees here in Fresno with some 40s and 50s north of Fresno. Highs tomorrow a bit cooler with 81 degrees, so that's going to feel much different, and the 70s with 77 on Monday. That's going to feel even cooler, of course, with 55 tonight. In Visalia, 81 for your high for tomorrow. And mountain areas, we're going to be in the 40s and 50s to 60 here in Fresno tonight. 50s, 60s, 70s for high temperatures there tomorrow. So the best chance in mountain areas, of course, areas to the north of Fresno, you're looking at a chance, and the chances are best on Monday, but surrounded with chances tomorrow and, of course, Tuesday as well. And we're looking at the valley forecast here with the chances for us as well. They are more slim, but if you are north of Fresno, your chances are better. And we are expecting a 77-degree high on Monday. Wow. It is going to feel like fall, which technically begins on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're just days away.
We're just in time. I think this is perfect, right? Yeah, we're just in time. We're making it into the fall, and it shows, right? We're getting a little bit of showers. We'll take it. We need all the rain we can get.
More like this, hopefully to come.
Yep, exactly. Thank you, Justin. We appreciate it. And coming up next in sports, the Bulldogs went to L.A. thinking upset, but unfortunately, it just wasn't the Bulldogs' night. Scott Bemis has a recap. That's next in Sports Central. Stick around.
The Central Valley is about as far away from D.C. as it gets, but the wrong votes there create real pain here. In D.C., David Valadeo voted for a $7.25 minimum wage. I raised the minimum wage and won overtime for farm workers. And with families unable to afford life-saving medicine like insulin, I voted to cut costs. David continues to vote the wrong way. I'm Rudy Salas, and I approve this message because this long-distance relationship with David just isn't working.
Most politicians only hurt you when they vote. The worst, like Rudy Salas, hurt you even when they don't. Salas skipped multiple votes to suspend the gas tax, denying relief to average Californians. But Salas did vote to spend our money promoting things like elite golf courses and five-star resorts. Places like where Salas was pampered on special interest trips. Votes when it suits him, doesn't care if he hurts you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
You have to look at stories in terms of what matters to regular people. Get away from the fringes and the special interests. There is no reason to magnify the smallest voice just because of how angry and vicious it is. Magnify what matters. Bring to light what is being ignored. You will watch this show and see that the job is done the right way. We don't play the game. We change the game.
Here in the Central Valley, it matters who's with us. And now that the Supreme Court has overturned 50 years of women having the right to choose, allowing politicians to outlaw abortion even in the case of rape, John Duarte definitely is not with us. Politician John Duarte. If he gets to Congress, Duarte will vote for partisan leaders in Washington who've pledged a nationwide ban on every woman's right to abortion. John Duarte. He's with them, not the Central Valley. House Majority PAC is responsible for the content of this ad.
Now YourCentralValley.com, pros who know.
Stay healthy. Boost your immune system at Madge Medical Clinic with our special high-dose IV vitamin C therapy. Call 559-740-7989.
For more expert advice, go to YourCentralValley.com/pros who know.
CBS 47 is on your side. Contact us for Eyewitness News Investigates. Now, Sports Central, presented by Toyota.
Coming off that heartbreaking loss to Oregon State last week, the Bulldogs didn't have to wait long to hook up with another Pac-12 foe. Saturday night, they traveled south to battle it out with 7th-ranked USC. Yeah, this was the first meeting between these two teams since 2019, and unfortunately, it just wasn't the Bulldogs' night. Let's take a look at that full-screen scoreboard if we have it. Yep, that's right. USC takes it 45-17 over the Bulldogs. They jumped out to an early lead in this game, scored on their first two possessions to take a 14-0 lead. Then at halftime, they were up 21-10. The Bulldogs had a little life as a 2-touchdown underdog. Late in the first half, they cut it to 21-10, had a couple chances maybe to get a little closer, but they couldn't do it. And then after halftime, well, things went from bad to worse for Fresno State because Jake Haener, their star quarterback in the third quarter, got rolled up on while being sacked on his leg. It looked really awkward and really bad. I don't think the news is going to be good for Jake Haener. He had to be carted off the field. He did return to the field to support his teammates later in the game, but he was on crutches. This in addition to the fact that Evan Williams, their preseason all-conference safety, had already left the game earlier in the first half with an injury as well. He was on crutches in the second half. So a bad night all the way around for Fresno State down there in LA. Now back locally, we had some players from the Valley making some waves Saturday in the college football ranks. That's right. All these guys originally from the Valley, and look what they were doing on Saturday. In addition to these three, Kendall Milton as well, the Buchanan alum now playing at Georgia, also had a touchdown run in the top-ranked Bulldogs' big win over South Carolina. Washington receiver Jalen McMillan, 7 receptions, 94 yards. Yeah, he had a big night for Kalen DeBoer in the Huskies' win over 11th-ranked Michigan State. Central alum Jeremiah Hunter, he had some decent numbers, but it came in a loss to Notre Dame. But Cal was close, while former Clovis West and Nebraska QB Adrian Martinez had over 200 total yards, but took his first loss with his new team, Kansas State. And also locally here in the Valley, actually, there was some junior college football today as well. Esteban, Fresno City got a win. Reedley, unfortunately, took a loss to Sierra, and COS also got a win as well. But tough night for the Bulldogs tonight.
It was a tough night. I think that's obviously on everybody's mind tonight. That one just ended as well, but you've also got the injuries, the loss. I mean, it was a rough week this week. So what do you got?
Yeah, I mean, you hate to lose a game like that, right? Yeah. I mean, I think what the Red Wave wanted, they wanted Fresno State to go down to the Coliseum and put up a competitive fight in this game. And for, I would say, you know, a quarter and a half, 2 quarters, that was the case. Even with Jake Haener in there in the second half, the Bulldogs still had a chance to possibly get back in that game. Once he left the game, unfortunately, it kind of felt like, hey, this was going to get out of hand. USC just a little too good for the Bulldogs. But yeah, now you worry about the rest of the season. You know, is Jake going to be okay? Is he going to be out for the rest of the year? You know, how do you get your backup ready? Logan Fife, he played pretty well at times tonight in a reserve role for Jake, but probably going to have to change the offense a little bit to account for Logan Fife. He's a little more of a runner than Jake Haener is. So we'll await word on Jake and also Evan Williams this week as far as the injuries go. But there's a lot of football left to be played, right?
Yeah,
I mean, you got 9 more games on the schedule.
Yep, this is only week 3, and yeah, that halftime deficit at 21-10, that looked doable, but USC kind of ran with it, literally, so to speak. And
I mean, full disclosure, I am a USC grad, and so you know, I'm seeing what this team is capable of, especially offensively, and this team is just loaded. I mean, their quarterback is a Heisman candidate. Their top receiver is probably a Heisman candidate. You know, they just went all over the country and grabbed all the best players from everywhere else, and they grabbed one of the best coaches as well, and USC might be back.
Yeah, it seems like it. And I mean, the Bulldogs, they just had a rough night today. And maybe, hey, we got to wait for a matchup or a rematch to see how they'll fare for it. But we'll keep our fingers crossed, hopefully.
Yeah, let's all be thinking about Jake tonight and Evan as well.
Yeah, that they recover as fast as they can, get back out on the field.
They're great guys.
Yeah, hopefully. So, Scott, thank you so much for that update. We appreciate it. And coming up on your edition of Eyewitness News at 11, we've got the Hero Fest, where everybody turns into a little bit of a hero. We'll have that coming up. Stick around.
Let's make each season a little sweeter. Let's make more of every new opportunity. Let's take better care of our families, our community, and our environment. In California, we don't settle for merely the best. Because with Toyota's class-leading fuel efficiency, reliability, and safety features, there is no best, only better. Year after year. Toyota. Let's go places.
Politician David Valadao. He says he's fighting for Valley families, then puts himself first in Washington. Valadao voted against economic relief for us during COVID, but his family business collected thousands in government relief. With prices surging, Valadao opposed raising the minimum wage. Valadao even sided with drug makers, refusing to cap insulin prices. Congress is working great for David Valadao, but Valadao's not working for us. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
The Central Valley is about as far away from D.C. as it gets, but the wrong votes there create real pain here. In D.C., David Valadao voted for a $7.25 minimum wage. I raised the minimum wage and won overtime for farm workers. And with families unable to afford life-saving medicine like insulin, I voted to cut costs. David continues to vote the wrong way. I'm Rudy Salas, and I approve this message because this long-distance relationship with David just isn't working.
Owning your own home is a dream come true.
So many Californians never missed a mortgage payment before COVID.
The pandemic hit all of us hard.
We could use a fresh start.
If you've missed mortgage payments during COVID, California Mortgage Relief can help save your home. Direct payments to your lender to cover missed payments. No fees, nothing to pay back. Find out if you qualify today. camortgagerelief.org.
Professional artists and beginners alike rely on Allard's Art. With the Valley's best selection of art supplies, Allard's has everything you need and an experienced staff to assist you from concept to framed completion. Allard's Art, picture framing and fine pens on Blackstone and Barstow.
To watch CBS 47 Eyewitness News anytime, go to Xfinity On Demand and click Get Local. This is CBS 47 Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. People from all over the state came to participate in Heroes Fest, and it's all for a good cause. Heroes Comics in Fresno hosted the event this afternoon, and it celebrates our local heroes from CAL FIRE, search and rescue, first responders, and beyond. Now, the California Senator's Office presented awards to honor those who have achieved great accomplishments in their line of work or duty life situations. Now, it was a great event out there. There was a lot of people enjoying the day. And speaking of the day, there was a little bit of nice weather there. So, yeah, we've got CBS 47 meteorologist Justin Sasher joining us. So, Justin, it was a really nice day today. I think
you like the cool down.
Yeah, I enjoyed the cool down when you're able to actually drive with the windows down and you're not getting blasted by the sun. I think it's a nice day, you know?
You know,
we'll
have more change on the way now.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like tomorrow's storm system is going to bring a lot of rain, but we will definitely see and feel a change in the weather, including probably drizzle, sprinkles, conditions. Once a few bands of rain pass from this low pressure system, it's going to dampen the air here on the valley floor, bring in some fresh air, and then things are going to start to feel a lot more like fall.
We will take it just in time, right? Because that's on Thursday, so we're going to set everything. We're going to get ready for fall, bring out the pumpkin spice, all that stuff. Thanks so much, Justin. We appreciate it.
CBS 47 Eyewitness News is on air, online, and on the go. Take Eyewitness News with you and share your stories with us on Facebook, Twitter, and on yourcentralvalley.com.
CBS 47, the Big Fresno Fair, and the Central California Blood Center want you to give blood at the Pine Square Pass Blood Drive now through October 15th. Donors get a buy one, get one free admission voucher for the fair. For more information, call 389-LIFE.
Big times are back. Most politicians only hurt you when they vote. The worst, like Rudy Salas, hurt you even when they don't. Salas skipped multiple votes to suspend the gas tax, denying relief to average Californians. But Salas did vote to spend our money promoting things like elite golf courses and five-star resorts. Places like where Salas was pampered on special interest trips. Votes when it suits him, doesn't care if he hurts you. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Grab the keys to a Toyota certified used vehicle.
Let's go!
Only the best pre-owned Toyotas receive our certified seal of approval, which means quality you can trust and legendary Toyota reliability. Shop a great selection and discover your dream Toyota today. Because the best new cars make the best used cars.
No! Grab the keys, come on, let's go!
Toyota, let's go places.
An Eye on Ag with Anthony Bailey, this week on Eyewitness News. The following paid commercial program does not reflect the opinions and views of Nexstar Broadcasting Incorporated, this station, or their employees and affiliates.
The following